Now I'm putting a case where this is a child which was brought to me with the behavioral difficulties, which had anger issues, restlessness, unable to understand things, difficulty interacting with child of his age, very stubborn, doing exact opposite of the instruction provided, and very adamant, very particular of his timings, socially avoidant, small gestures like bye to his friends. He used to not speak much, and I would want to have an interactive session from here on about this case. So I would ask everyone to just raise their hand if they can help me figure out, because I'll be talking about the test we used also, and this case we'll be discussing for another 10 minutes. So please come up with questions. Please read the screen, read the perspective, how things are, and what all test you feel can be applied here, or I can bring you something like behavioral observation later on. But if you can just come up with some questions by yourself, how, okay, we can use Vanderbilt, we can use dyslexia, okay, but there is no as such LD issues which has been reported. He's impatient more, if you can figure out. He's restless, he's having anger, he's stubborn, he does not follow instructions, he doesn't communicate with people around, there are no social gestures. Yes, we can use ADHD, definitely. We can use Windland social maturity. Yes, we can use CARS. Of course, ADHD is one form of test is CARS. Yes, we have to use autism. Uh, it can lead to ODD, but ODD, how will you interpret it? Can be ODD. Can you tell me the test which we can be used for ODD? And if I ask you that we need to do a comprehensive test, what would it be? If a comprehensive test where you need to screen out other scales of also understanding he is autistic or non-autistic, we'll use autism scales. But or what all behavioral disorders can be discriminated or differentiated to understand the person? Yes, we can do IQ test. Any other questions? Any other test? Yes. But anybody in this circle knows how to understand how we can use which test can be used for combining all the childhood behavioral and emotional issues? Terrarium, we cannot use MMPI. It's a child with an age of 8 years. He cannot be doing MMPI. Just to help you understand. Okay, I'll put yes, we can use VSMS also. NeoFFI can also not be used. It's an adult test. It is not a child test. Yes, we use child behavior checklist, like I mentioned, for using these behavioral issues where you can use DSM based criterias, and that can help you to understand the perspective. Okay, so Maya, it can be academic anxiety scale also, but also he has other behavioral issues which can be reason of that. But when we were having a discussion about this with the mother as well as teacher, they could not bring us to anything which was making him anxious in the class. He was able to show more of a behavioral symptoms. So I'll just show this. You can read through, please. And these were the observations made in the session. Yes, we could have used child TAT, but the child was not able to sit for a longer period of time. That's why I used human figure test. Thank you, Aisha, for bringing that. EPQ is also an adult test. EPQ does not work for children. Sumaya. Yes, incline could be. Incline could be used. I have used ISA here. Any related questions regarding the behavioral observation? Please read the behavioral observation. It will help you to understand why I had focused on behavioral assessment for the psychological assessment. Yes, John, we could use Ackenbach, which
Child
is usually
child thematic test. Child
yes, we
thematic
have
test.
yes, we could use that. So see, that's what I mentioned, Neeti. The child was not able to sit properly for the session, so we used human figure drawing test, which is also like a draw a person test. I'll move to the findings which I made. So this was, can somebody mute themselves? So this was the impression which we I could form out of the response, and this was something with the recommendations I could bring out with the relation to the impression I had.
When it comes to children, these scales, like there are 4 to 5 scales if you are doing it, so it can't be done in one session. We have to break the session. So how much sessions does it take for them, ma'am?
Okay,
Approximately.
so if you see my slide with the child with ADHD, okay, if I'm just telling you how I did, I'll tell you mostly with children, I give breaks and in adults too. So I choose to give them breaks after every 1.5 to 2 hours for adults as well as children. So when you're doing a children, CBCL is basically your parent form. ADHD is a parent form. Human figure drawing is the child test. Melin is a child test, which the child has to do. Then learning disability test has to be done by child. The first three tests mentioned here is to be done by the parent. तो आपको जो टेस्ट बेसिकली बच्चे के साथ करने हैं वो 4 टेस्ट हैं एंड दिस यू हैव टू डू इट इंटरवल्स विद दैट you can because mostly what I have seen in clinical practice parents come up with the question of taking the concern that do it in one day only we cannot come the other day out we have taken an off from the school so we cannot come with this reason to do every day and I also have taken an off so as a mother I cannot take multiple offs so this is why we consider to take it in breaks. So you can do with breaks with the child. Also, you can give him some reinforcements like, okay, you complete this, I'll bring you this. This will help you with understanding and making it more easier for the child to work and be cooperative in the session.
So, ma'am, for Malins, it's a big scale. So, do you
Yes.
give breaks in between the scale or after the scale?
So I'll try and finish the performance scale first, and then I'll give a break and do the other part of the scale.
Yes, ma'am. Thank you, ma'am. Thank you.
Thank you. Yes, next person can.
Yeah, hi, good evening, ma'am. Can you hear me? This is
Uh,
Shashin here.
yes, Shashin, tell me.
All right. Okay. So, question. In fact, the slide that you have put up, we have a similar. So, I work in a rehab, and
Okay.
we have a very similar case that has come up. So, just wanted to quickly.
The
I'm
child
sure it's
case or the adult
yeah,
case?
child case, child case.
Okay.
So, he's
Okay.
a
Okay.
13-year-old child, and her mother actually brought her in, and
Hmm.
so the typical symptoms is that the child is actually um, not giving any attention to whoever is talking to him. So he is not even looking at the person who is talking to him. Or
Hmm.
and then the child is not interested in any of the questions that are asked, or somebody is
Hmm.
talking to him, and he's in his own. Not, I wouldn't say he's in his own world, but he's like, मुझे घर जाना है, मुझे घर जाना है, हो गया क्या, मुझे
Avoidant, you
जाना,
mean?
avoidant. Yeah, exactly.
Okay.
So apparently, मैंने देखा कि घर पे उसका environment इतना अच्छा नहीं है with mother
Hmm.
and father. So thoda
Hmm.
neglect hai. So
Hmm.
and then this guy is a bit weird because the school has started complaining, and now
Hmm.
he is not attentive in his class.
Hmm.
He marks uska IQ अच्छा है, IQ 98 है,
Hmm. Hmm.
but still he is not able to score well. So if you
Any
look at
other issues from social perspective? Did you rule out
socially,
autism?
yeah, so we have not. He just came in about just about last week. He came for OPD, and then now the mother is wants to know कि do we have to admit it. So that's where we were trying to figure out उसका autism का या ADHD किसका test करें is what I was thinking.
So I would
कि
suggest that you can use CBCL from the mother's perspective. and father's perspective both. Take it from both of them, because that will
Okay.
really help you to understand how they are seeing their child.
Okay.
And secondly, you should also use like CBCL, ADHD, and INCLAN. Use ISA, sorry, the autism skill.
Ha,
Three of
ha.
them with both the parents, and compare it,
Both.
and then make a average of that in your report.
Got it. And apparently for ADHD, we also have to get one part of the form filled in by the teacher, right?
By the
School teacher.
teacher, yes. The
So
CBCL also has it some form of teacher
अच्छा.
questions which you can send it.
So teachers भरते हैं क्या form? I don't know. I've never
Yes.
dealt with actually kids. The first time I'm actually going to deal with kids. So
No, the teachers do fill it. So if the school has referred them, then definitely teacher has to fill it.
okay, fair enough.
You
I
can
will.
tell that to the parents to send that form across to the teacher, or bring the teacher's email ID next time they come for a session. You can share it and have a conversation yourself with the teacher.
Okay,
But
fair
I
enough.
would
Sounds
suggest one thing, Sashi, that you should rule out emotional concerns of the child, because I feel the behavioral reasons are because of the emotional neglect he's feeling at home.
yeah. I felt that too. But parents कैसे parents मानने के लिए तैयार नहीं है.
Then you
So
should start counseling session with the parents after the
yeah,
assessment comes.
yeah, absolutely. Yeah, I've asked her mom to come in. Her dad doesn't want to come in. ऐसा है. तो थोड़ा सा like why मुझे कुछ
Okay,
हुआ
you
नहीं है
just
मैं क्या
start working with the mother and slowly bring him in the
yeah.
focus when you are done with the report. So that might help.
Okay, will do. But yeah, let me take a look at CBCL and let's see.
CBCL.
ISA ADHD I had, I'm aware, but CBCL मैंने अभी तक किया नहीं. But yeah, let me check.
CBCL you can do. It is easily available on internet, or you can if you have group. There are multiple groups I have seen who have spread across CBCL also.
Done. Will do. Thank you so much. Thank
Okay.
you so much.
Thank you.
Yeah. Can I, ma'am?
Yes,
Hello.
Nazia.
Yeah, this is Nazia here. Yeah, hello. Thanks for this good session, ma'am. And can you help us with any good website for reference for checklist or anything? I mean, regards to any information if you want to, like the ADHD checklist or anything. So for any
Ma'am,
behavioral issues or anything, any reference websites?
reference related to the test, or you're talking about the reference
For the
related to
checklist,
the...
any checklist, if you want to refer for
Ma'am, the
any
Wanderlist ADHD checklist is easily available on Google. You can search it through that. And the CBCL worksheet is also available. You can
But for
Google it.
any other disorders, ma'am, how does it go? Is there anything
There is
precise?
one website which is known as psychologytools.com, where you can find out different tests for basically rating scales for different disorders.
Okay. So these
If
are all
that would help
reliable
you.
ones.
Yes,
Okay.
they are all the ones which you have it on the book, but they are on computerized format all time.
Okay. Fine. Thank you, ma'am.
Okay, thank you. Yes, Mahima, you can unmute yourself.
Also, can I also ask a question about an adult? I actually had a doubt about the case with an adult.
Yes, please.
Yeah. So she's 24 and she's come in with more symptoms of overthinking and anxiety majorly, but also social exclusion in general.